going to add solar graph. I don't need these. Okay. Now I'm going to bundle install. Bundle. So solar graph is just like, I don't know, I find solar graph works way better if you install solar graph into your project, and if you add a config file, which is not mandatory, but if you're using solar graph with VS Code, and chances are you are, I don't know, installing it through bundler. Andrew, go bye-bye. God damn. Am I back? It's not good, man. It's fucking internet, man. Okay, I'm back. God damn, dude. They took everything from us, and now they take our fucking internet. What did I last say? Something probably about what I was installing. And or muttering. Solar graph. I installed solar graph into my projects in the gem file. I find it makes solar graph work better. And then also adding a solar graph config file, which you can generate using the solar graph CLI. And it just makes working with Ruby inside of VS Code way better. Send tweet. I use standard RB for all my stuff. Nothing big there. And HTML proofer is what I was going to tell you about. So HTML proofer is a gem that allows you to do stuff like check for broken links specifically. So I'm installing it in our gem file, and then did I gem install already? God damn. Gem install, right? Bundle, goddamn. Bundle install, and then bundle bin stubs standard RB. I didn't spell that right. Standard RB and HTML proofer. Because I cannot find. Wait, is it just standard? Ah. HTML proofer. It might be. Okay, cool. Because this is optional, but like I said earlier, I like having bin stubs. It helps me know like what I have in the project. Cool. HTML proofer, standard RB. Baller. I'm gonna reload this window because now that we have our solar graph installed and our config file, you're gonna see these squiggly lines go away. Bang. Well, yes. Cool. Now I'm going to snag a few things from this project. So number one, I'm going to snag checks. I went a little too far down that road. I'm not going to do that. Standard RB, I don't need that. I don't need Percy. I have that. Format, clean. I need that. Wait. I guess I do need clean. No, I don't. I like copied a bunch of like stuff around in here. I didn't need to do that, but whatever. I'm gonna grab this format bin stub, this check bin stub, and this checks folder. I don't want that. I can't tell if that's selected or not. And then I'm gonna paste that into this project. So format is a bin stub that just runs standard RB. And it also runs prettier, which I haven't added yet. Yarn add -d prettier. It's prettier. It's literally just like a one-stop bin stub. Like you run this thing and it formats the project. Cool. I didn't want this to come over while I did it. You know what? I'm actually going to leave it because I think I might use it later. Format, I'm missing one. Check. Yes. check is what I will run through GitHub Actions, and I will also run locally sometimes. And it goes in here into this checks folder, and I have a check for standard RB, and it just checks to make sure the entire project is formatted with standard RB. It doesn't actually run the formatter. It'll check to see if prettier is enforced throughout. It'll run this liquid linter package that I've been trying out. I don't know how I feel about it yet, but I haven't actually seen any benefit, I should say. Well, except for, no, I take that back. I have this this autocomplete, and it was, well, that doesn't look right. Well, for some reason, all my conditionals were like this. They had like the leading like dash, but not the ending dash. And you don't really need the dash. I think, if my understanding correct, adding that dash just means it's something about the spacing of it, which is not important to me. So I'm not really concerned. But anyway, it told me that I basically had like all open conditionals, like with a brace on one or a dash on one side, not the other, and that was wrong. And they were correct. So I guess I have a little bit of benefit from liquid linter. And then this link spin stub, which will run build. So it'll build the project, and then it will check for broken links in the built project. And I mean, because essentially the built project is what you would deploy. So I find this to be very helpful, and you may want to snag it if you want to like have an easier way to like check for broken links, like when you commit or however you go about that workflow. But we need to install a few packages from Node, one of which is liquid linter CLI, which is what I had, and prettier I added. There's one more thing, I think. Maybe not. Oh, I was thinking about the script. Okay. So yarn add -d liquid linter CLI. Cool. And I have HTML proofer liquid dip. And I'm going to add scripts and the prettier config. So prettier ignore, prettier config. Honestly, ESLint is too much of a pain in the ass to use. And you know what? It's just, that's it. I don't want to use it because it's such a fucking pain in the ass. And I don't understand why. So I use prettier because, you know, most of the time it's fine, especially when I'm not writing a lot of JavaScript. And I probably don't need to discuss this. Print width 120, trailing comma none, whatever. To each their own. Prettier standard is a project that kind of wraps the prettier config with a default library or default presets. It's pretty nice if you are shopping for like an easy way to like get prettier running, but you don't know what the settings to choose. And I was not running prettier on posts because I'm pretty sure by default prettier will run markdown linting, and I didn't want it to. But you know what? I'm gonna turn on here. Plugins dist bin. Should be fine. Package JSON. I'm gonna grab these scripts, prettier check, prettier format. I think that's the only one I need. Or the only two, I guess. Deploy. Yeah. Oh, I am probably gonna add. So, whoa. Package JSON. Bang, bang. Cool. By default, it's like JS, JSON, CSS, and YAML. Cool. I also have found value in having a build script or a script called clean, or is it start? No, it was called clean start, which runs yarn clean. And right, is that what it does? Start yarn clean, yeah, and then starts a project. Because sometimes you know you need to have a clean start, and I don't know. JSON package scripts are cheap to add, especially if they save time. Cool. And I don't think I need anything else right now. I don't want to add that. I guess I could add this, but it's not really. Like a nice clean. Actually, no, now that I think about it, if this is a private package, it's not going to be released, then none of this is important, and I don't need to add it. So actually, now that I think about it, I've been adding it in a lot of places I don't need it. Fuck. Well, no better time to come to a realization. All right, so I'm going to add Webpack Analyze too. And I'll run this tool. I think it's pretty cool. Okay. And then I think I'll need to yarn dat Webpack Analyze. Webpack Bundle Analyze is what it's called. This is a handy tool that I picked up while debugging Webpacker issues. Now if I run yarn Webpack Analyze, it'll do some stuff. I guess I could tweak this command to make it a little smarter. Output. Wait, why aren't you dumb? What is it not like? It doesn't like that. God damn. Couldn't read Webpack bundle stats from blah webpack.com/stats JSON. No such file. Well, I don't think it should be there. I think it should be. Damn, the fat finger continues. Where is the stats JSON file? Maybe I broke this and didn't know about it. Well, you know what? I ain't even tripping. Although, I'm going to spend exactly 1 more minute trying to figure this out. Right. Bin Webpack. Node modules, bin Webpack bundle analyzer. And what does it not like? It doesn't like the mkdir output, node modules, bin Webpack -- profile -- JSON, output stats.json, and node modules, bin Webpack output stats JSON. Something looks off about that, and I'm not sure I'm committed to fix it. Let me just I'm used to having my terminal in a different window, and like toggling back and forth is like killing me. Yarn. Output stats JSON. Well, you couldn't read that because it didn't create it. Duh. Node modules bin webpack -- profile -- JSON. Output stats JSON. Whatever. I guess there's something I'm forgetting, and it's not important enough to add, but basically what it will do is show you what's like bringing your, well, it'll like show you like what's going on in your package JSON, like where you may need to like optimize. Like, holy shit, Moment.js is like the only library that does timing very well, and it's like the most massive package ever. And it brings in all these locales that you probably don't need, and most people don't know that. And bundle analyzer will basically help you identify that. But there's also a tool called bundle phobia, which I think you could run through like GitHub Actions or something. Yeah, well, in order to do these, you have to have that stupid package JSON file. You know what? Fuck it. Not interested. Interesting. Oh, I said not interested. So that's something I would run in like a test. All right. I don't know why I don't have my stats JSON, but I don't really care. I'm just going to remove that and keep chugging. Stats JSON. Whatever. Actually, I want to try one more thing. So this is how I get in trouble. I can't let shit go. Yarn build. Maybe I need to build first. I don't feel like that. Oh, I meant to do yarn deploy. Yeah. Yarn deploy, which will put everything in my output. Now, does this work? If not, it's gone. All right, fuck it. Fuck it. Cool tool, worth looking into. Not wasting my time right now. Do package JSON. I'm just going to remove. Do I have any other packages I need while I'm here? Webpack, CLI, manifest plugin. All right, fuck this. It gone. Moving on. Cool. Okay. Now, the nice thing about the way I have my little setup is that, shit, where did I just drag the folder into somewhere? Oh, there it is. Is I already have GitHub Actions written to execute all these. Oh, shit, I already have that. GitHub. So now I'll pull this up whenever we push next. Cool. So now we have some workflows, links. This will build the project and then run the link checker. The linters will run prettier, liquid, lint, and standard RB whenever you create a PR or push to the main branch. And I don't know. I like to create my projects in a way that it's easy for someone to contribute and easy for me to maintain. And having GitHub Actions to run like little checks like this is super helpful. And it also keeps you honest. I also have some VS Code settings that I'm also going to snag. Although, oh, damn, I have that too. What is, oh, the activity bar stuff. All right. Yes. Copy. I might glance through this real quick though. Workbench, yeah. It's cool, it's cool. Actually, I'll keep that at the bottom. All right, what is this doing? Editor, format on save true. Default formatter is prettier. Code actions on save. Okay, I don't need that because I'm not using style lint. Liquid format on save false because there's no great like VS Code plugin for liquid linting. I also turned it off for HTML because it was like prettier was like fucking up the liquid. I would love if there's someone who has a great solution to that. JavaScript, and you know I don't need to set that because I'm already setting that up there. Some Ruby settings. Yep, remove that. CSS validate. I don't know why I turned these off. Ignore limit slow graph diagnostics true. File associations. I guess I need that. Well, yeah. Emmet liquid has HTML. Post CSS is CSS. Emmet profile. Cool. All right. Good to roll. Now, if I go to my command line and run bin format, it will format the project. I'm going to run yarn check. I did not mean to run yarn. I meant bin. Although that's interesting that it put that out. No issues found. All my links are good. Dope. Now I'm going to commit this. And I'm actually going to make linters just so to demonstrate the GitHub action power. Sure. Linter? Is that a thing? Yeah, close enough. Add linting and GitHub actions to run the linters. I don't know if is anyone even here? Yeah, there's two people. I'm curious if anyone's using Husky because I feel like I always start to use Husky and then it pisses me off and then I don't use it. But I don't know. For some things I feel like it's really good and for some things I don't. And it's sometimes not great for Ruby because, well, particularly if you're using Rubocop. Not as much for standard RB just because Rubocop can take forever if you have it jacked up with a ton of plugins. But I might troll Jason and add like some weird linter in here later. All right, so cool. This is running on GitHub. So now it kicks off our GitHub actions. Dope. And you can configure your branch settings so that you can't like commit if the linters are failing. Although the issue I found with that is when you do a yarn, when you build your site, it will create production links. And if that site hasn't actually been created on your domain yet, the way I'm saying this, it sounds wrong. I might have to look at that again. But I know whatever the case was, because the site didn't actually exist, or the domain didn't actually exist yet on my site. And I think there's a configuration option to like change this, but because that domain did not exist yet, the check failed. Can't stand git hooks. Yeah. Why though? Because I don't like them either, but I don't really know why. I mean, ideally, if you configure your shit right, then you wouldn't need it. Like if your VS Code or whatever fucking you're using is configured correctly, then you don't really need it. Although I guess for open source projects, I could see it being more beneficial. because I think everyone who maintains open source has had that like occurrence where someone comes in, adds a PR, they never come back to it, their lints are failing, and now you have to decide how lazy you're feeling and whether you feel like cloning their thing and then running the linters, and then that just kind of sucks. So I guess it is a good way to like make sure people don't fuck up. It kind of sounds rude, but it's true. If you want to limit the possibility of fucking up, Husky's pretty nice. Although I've started seeing Husky a lot more. And like running like the commit message linters too. All right. And I think this is good. Let it run that. The nice thing is like with if you correctly add caching to your GitHub actions, these start running very fast after the initial run. Nice. Cool. I'm just going to go ahead and merge that. So, Jared, if you have issues with broken links, that commit may have something you'd like. Yes, okay. That I've also had that issue. It's like they don't understand that some of us are cowboys and like we don't give a shit if tests are failing. Like sometimes shit has to go. You know? And I see the irony of it being JavaScript that is doing that is not lost on me. The land of like, oh, this feature doesn't exist, but maybe it will one day, so we'll create a Babel plugin. And it will never fucking exist. So just ad hoc adding features to the language that probably aren't in there for a fucking reason. All right. Nice. All right, so where are we at here? We got Tailwind, we got our shit configured, we got our components, we got our site. I think all we need to do now is put in the content and add a little slap of style. And then I think we're done. Because I don't know if he has blog posts on here. Where'd it go? Where'd the fuck? There it is. Oh, he has articles. Okay. Nice. So we will have a little challenge. Although, I don't know if I feel like I am definitely absolutely not going to copy and paste all these, so he's gonna have to do that himself. Fucking Hanami. But let's do the base. Tail blocks. If he wants to use Tailwind UI, that's up to him, but I'm gonna use tail blocks because I'm going to probably like copy this project to use later before I give it to him. So let's see how fast we can do this. Okay, on the home page, we need a navbar. And navbar. There we go. Duh. His is super simple, isn't it? Yeah. All right, dude. Thanks for hanging out. I probably would have done this anyway, even if no one was here. Copy all this shit. This is probably something that would be helpful for other people. Especially if I could like redo this, but actually streamline it. Because I'm not a streamline developer. Sometimes. Well, not at 3 in the morning anyway. It's too many. That's the hard thing I find with working in JavaScript. One of the things I dislike about it so much, like it appeals to like all of the things that like I have trouble with, like staying on task. So there's so much shit just flying out of nowhere, and it's just impossible for me to like stay on task. Like there's so much like tooling coming out, and I'm a sucker for tooling. It's just a fucking nightmare. That is why Bridgetown has eased that tremendously. Although I think about it often. Before you go, here's another thing I use that I have found incredible use. It's called Nucleo. It's like it's a tool for managing your icons. So today on Product Hunt, I saw where are my likes? I saw a free icons. Cool. So if you find something like this, get it free. Yeah, I want that. $0. Sorry. Give them spam email. Sorry about it. Mountains or hills? Dude, I fucking hate these patches. Fucking feeding Google. View content. Download. What the fuck was that called? UI. Okay, there we go. Open in Finder. UI icons. All right. And then files. Okay, and SVG, and that's what I want. So then you come into Nucleo, and then you add a new set. And what is this called? Does it have a name? Tetrisly? It's a weird word. Whatever. Copy. New set. Bang. Set name. And then you just take all the files. Like so. Drop them in there. Create new set. Bang, bang, bong. That's all you need. And then you have like a super simple way to manage that shit, and you can search and add tags and stuff if you want. You can like tweak little things here or there. And the nicest part is you can like export it and all that shit, but you can just copy the raw SVG code straight from this. So what I've been doing is where's my navbar? For instance, literally either use that insert SVG thing that you do, or literally just paste it like straight in there and call it a day. And if I didn't fuck it up, is my server running? Question mark. No. Yes. And Grok is pissed about something. And I think it's there. I think the color is fucked, so let me just add. Yep. Little icon. And if you have like multiple sizes and shit, it's even better. So there's my power thing, dude. I've been using this recently and I absolutely love it. And I think you can have the application for free, but they also have their own icon set as well that you can buy. And I bought it because it's actually like a super nice icon set, and it's pretty big. And I don't fuck with Font Awesome, dude. The cost of importing those, or the cost of using it, is just too high. Although it is awesome, truly. But like all the extra shit you're adding to your app is just not worth it. Especially if you can like get a tool like this and then get like a really nice icon set that you just like, it's your icon set that you can use, and then you're rolling. So yeah, Highly recommend this for managing icons and shit. All right. I'm trying to think. Before I do styling, I wonder if there's anything I want to do real quick while you're still here. Collections, folder structure themes, liquid components, layouts, pages, post, front matter collections, data files. I think I overuse the data files. I think I'm going to take your advice and dig more into the build plugins, because I really like the data files. Probably too much. Although I guess it's kind of helpful if you're thinking about it, if you're going to migrate to like a CMS or something in the future. Thinking about your content in that manner is helpful. Static pages. I think that's not good. Liquid variables. Dude, liquid is a trip. It takes some getting used to. It's kind of growing on me a little bit. Not all of it. Some of it's just bullshit. Like the whole. Actually, I guess it's not even bullshit when I say it out loud, but the way you have to like assign variables and stuff kind of annoys me. Just because the syntax is so verbose. I guess while I'm here and thinking about it, how... what did I add? Oh, okay. Remove that. I need to check out main. Git pull. I am curious though to see your... If you do find the time or urge to use that thing I mentioned earlier that will show everyone what VS Code packages you're using. I'm curious. There's overlap. I'm using the liquid languages supporter. One of these pissed me off. I got to figure out which one it is though. It tells you whether other files are included in the snippet or section you're currently viewing. I don't think I really need that anymore now that the includes are done. I guess really the... Well, you use Bulma, so Headwind wouldn't be useful to you. Headwind is the fucking shit, though. I need to try this global config thing out. I've heard some good things. I just haven't used it yet. Nah. Tangent, another time. All right, so any other styles? I'll just add... Actually, you know what I'll just do real quick? Is just add the pages themselves. Yeah, there's not many, so I guess that's good and or bad, maybe. What is that sitemap visual builder? What was that tool that I was using yesterday? You know? I don't remember. Well, that probably means it's going to be a waste of time. So here's his index. Writings. Are these just as... Oh, okay. That's... All right. We're going to check that out for show. Do I not? Oh, this is off screen. Well, is that... Okay. That explains why I was off screen. Okay. When you use a Strappy, like how do you host it? Because that's the only thing that like makes me like think like, oh well, maybe I should use Netlify CMS because like I don't want to host it. Although it's like a few buttons, but like it's like a recurring bill I don't really want or need or can't afford. was I doing? I was going to his index. Look, Bridgetown. Cool, cool. Cool, cool. He does stuff and things. I am probably not going to keep this, but I'm going to add it in right now. And that is... Oh, I should probably add syntax highlighting at minimum. I'm going to add some of these base styles that I created in my app, because they will add some clarity. Subtitle, I don't need that. HTML is animating. I don't know if I need these. I'm just going to comment them out. I haven't deployed Strapi yet for Reels, but or probably use Docker, fly.io, and connect to a Mongo Atlas instance. Yeah, I always forget Mongo is like a viable thing because everyone just trolls it on it so much. But I was looking into Mongo with Strapi too. Although it was very tempting to like use Hatchbox to deploy a Rails app in like 5 seconds. What is fly.io? I've heard about this. Deploy app servers close to your users. Ah. Turbocharge your Heroku apps. Fucking Heroku. Interesting. I'm gonna have to add. Look at this later. Sure. I need to find something to do. Manage that later. Close that. Am I running this twice? All right, default styles. That'll make things a little cleaner right now. Hello. Apparently not as high as I thought. Oh, that's because I need to yarn probably clean start. Really not gonna start drinking the Kool-Aid. Yeah, I think it might finally kind of hit its stride, because like I used it in college for, I guess, a React app that I started to build when I had no idea what React was. Like the project was like a Node.js, and like there was a bonus for making it do something, and like React was like this thing that was coming out, and I didn't know any better. I tried to use it, and I was like, oh, it's weird, it won't work. I don't understand why. And like little did I know, like I was standing on like the precipice of death. Apply cannot be used here with BG-Gray because BG-Gray, because that's a Tailwind UI thing. Standing on the precipice of death. No idea. But I connected the Node.js back into Mongo. But I don't, are people still doing that? I know that was popular. Firebase is what the kids seem to be talking about now. Or maybe not. Maybe that was last week. Firebase was very hot for a minute there. Although I started a little exploration to Apollo. It just seems like so complex that it's like congratulatory to itself. But I don't know. I hear that's the thing. There we go. The nice part about this is it'll make our, yeah, nice little table. Nice little table. And then if we just slap default class equals container. Yeah, dude, but that's like the entire. Well, okay, number one, it's hard for me to hate on someone who's like trying to make money, like in that space, I guess, because like I'm pretty sure they all usually have like a really generous free plan, and as long as they have like a generous free plan that like an average, if you're like building like an open source thing, like you typically can use like the open source plan and like be cool. Which also reminds me, I wanted to write a blog post about integrating Honey Badger, which I don't remember why I wanted to do that, but I remember why I wanted to do that. Uh, it's hard for me to hate on people who are trying to make money, but at the same time, yeah, it's kind of like, I mean, like what won't they do? Like the whole Hasura is like an interesting concept, but I don't know. I don't something about it is very wrong to me. Like I don't know. You already have this amazing. I don't know. I don't know. I know a little bit of H or GraphQL, but like not an enough to like use it, but probably not enough to like start it from scratch. And I don't know. I think it might be the future one day, but that's not today. And I kind of like Rest. Although I definitely see where GraphQL shines. The CMSs, though, I definitely understand monetizing because that shit is fucking hard. Like, how many CMSs do we have in Rails and people are still trying to make new ones because, like, they all suck in their own way? I think Jason and Chris tried to make one, too. I think Spina is the one I most recently, like, looked into because it, like, looked the nicest. And their site was cool. Actually, I think the main reason. Oh yeah, no, I don't want to. Yeah, well, I mean, you gotta like think you are paying to like host it on like DigitalOcean. Like, is it really that different? Or DigitalOcean is an example. Take your pick. Team Linode here, mostly because they sponsor me. What am I using? I'm using not Prism. Fucking. It starts with a P though. You know, I can easily grab it because I put the analytics dashboard as a public thing on my site so anyone could look at it. I'm using plausible. And it's open source. And I like open source things, even if I'm going to pay for it, which I think I am. Oh, no, I have their free plan. Wait. I feel like it will. Oh, maybe it sticks me in this free plan until I get that reach that level. I don't know. I at one point started to take what's Andrew Kane's thing. It's on the tip of my tongue. I swear, Jason and Chris have like a major man crush on Andrew Kane, and honestly, I'm starting to get one as well. He just puts out pure fire. Ahoy. Yes, it's called Ahoy. I was going to like create a Rails backend and then just send, because there's a JavaScript package for Ahoy. So I was just literally just going to create my own. I was just going to roll my own fucking analytics. And then I decided I had other things to do. But I don't think it would be very hard. I'm sure someone one day will do it. But probably not me. Because who's got the time? But I like plausible. I like especially that I can make the dashboard public, because I don't want to write like a privacy policy, especially if I'm just like, here it is. This just saves me work. Plus there's nothing secretive about it. Fuck Google Analytics also. All right, back to this. Actually, I'm probably about to take a break. I'm trying to think if there's anything on my mind while I've got you here. I don't remember what I was going to ask earlier. Probably unimportant. I don't know. All I can say, dude, I am I'm fucking sold. I can move it took a little bit to like get the gist of it, which is why I think creating like videos, like actual videos, not just like random fucking montage